DJ, put a nigga back to the record, baby, and give me this right now.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It is the legendary LaShawn, and I am back at you again with another legendary discussion video. And in this, we're going to be talking about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I saw this last Friday, with my wife and one of my closest homies. When we saw it, afterwards, we just kind of all looked at each other. And it was, you know what I'll say? One thing I will say before starting this off is, you know what? Interestingly enough, we at least had a good time. But having said that, is this movie good or not? And the answer is nah. This movie, this movie is pretty bad. Okay. And this movie is bad to me in the worst way because of the fact that there were some interesting places that this movie could have gone. And this is, to me, the most frustrating and annoying type of bad movie where it's bad in its structure, but it could have been something that was really, really solid. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the reasons why I really did not like this movie. First of all, to me, a lot of the characters were really underused and were there for not too much of a reason other than to just be comedic relief or to just be kind of a plot device. That's pretty much it. Mainly, I'm going to focus on Shriek's character, right? So, Shriek is somebody that has a power that is literally the weakness of the symbiotes, right? Should be a pretty important thing and how this all ties in. In this movie, without spoiling too much, I mean, she's pretty much just Cletus's partner in crime. That's pretty much it. And even with that, there's not much character development for her. Eddie's girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend, is back in the movie again, and her boyfriend and everything that you saw from the trailer, they're back in the movie again. But aside from really, essentially getting Venom and Eddie to cooperate, they don't really even do much. They have a couple of lines. The boyfriend that's with Eddie's ex now, you know, he has a couple of funny moments and stuff like that. And he's kind of, I don't know, he's kind of like the middleman and stuff like that. I mean, it's without spoiling too much, it's kind of implied that it's just one of those things where it's just like, he's more so the rebound guy. I'll just leave it at that. And that's pretty much all he was. But the points, or I'll say the thing that really, really upset me, I guess, about this is the fact that, especially with a character like Shriek, you know, you really could have built her up to be somebody that was maybe a reluctant villain or something like that, or whatever else. Or it's like, even if you're going to have this tie between, you know, Carnage and Shriek and the symbiotes and everything like that, then really try to flesh it out. You know, a lot of these characters feel like if you took them out of the movie wouldn't change much. Like, there's this cop that's in there that keeps on hounding Eddie and keeps on getting on his case about everything that's going on in the city and the fact that Eddie always seems to be at the center of the issues and stuff like that. And I mean, Eddie's just like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. And it's like, if you take this cop out of the movie, then it really wouldn't make much of a difference. Like, he's only there to kind of be on Eddie's case to, you know, lock him up or whatever else, to kind of, I don't know, be one step behind everybody, but he doesn't really do anything. So to me, it was just a lot of underused characters and really wasted time, it felt like. And then I'll even attach this to this. In my opinion, Cletus and Carnage were just ridiculously, and I mean ridiculously rushed in their character development and the time that they had. So the funny thing is, and it's weird how this works, because if you're going to see the movie, right, there's so much time spent with just Cletus and Carnage. And Carnage doesn't really have too many lines in this, right? He's not really speaking too much because he's just this chaotic force of nature, right? He's just Carnage. That's what he does. He's just there to kill people, right? And, Cletus gets his speaking roles, and I'll say that in this movie, he definitely looks better than he did in that after credit scene. Of course, he looks a lot better, right? But his character development is super rushed. They have a couple of back flashes where they show you some things that happened to him, and then he has the scene with Eddie talking to him about his childhood and how maybe things would be different if certain things didn't happen in his life, right? And that's what I mean by this was such a missed opportunity, because they play it out where it's just like Cletus is this super bitter person, but he kind of resembles with Eddie and he likes Eddie. And in this movie, they bring out that Eddie had problems in his family too, right? That both Cletus and Eddie have problems in their family. But they don't spend any time really building up that kinship. When you look at something like The Dark Knight, right, where you had the Joker and Batman, when the Joker talked to Batman, when they were in that room together and he was getting interrogated, they really took the time to properly flesh out the fact that the Joker feels a kinship with Batman, that he feels that he needs him in order to survive, that deep down the Joker knows that Bruce Wayne, Batman, is just as broken as he is, and that he's only one bad day away from literally snapping and becoming the Joker. And a lot of times in the comic book, Bruce Wayne, I'll just refer to him as Batman. Batman often admits this, right? He admitted this to Red Hood. He admitted this to Alfred. He admitted this to Robin, to Barbara, to Jim, to all of these people. He admitted it that, honestly, me and the Joker have both had really, really bad days, and we're just two people that responded to it in a very different way. And in this movie, they keep on giving off that vibe, or that's what they keep on telling us, but they're not showing. And anybody that's into like any type of writing or anything like that, showing, not telling is really, really important, right? Because you want to kind of just leave it, you kind of want to treat it a little bit like a puzzle, right? And of course there's different types of puzzles. There's like, there's the 12 piece, there's the 30 piece, the 64 piece, the 100 piece, whatever, right? But when you get a puzzle, you get all the pieces and you just lay them out on the table. You don't put instruction manuals in there for step 1, step 2, and all that other stuff. No, you leave that experience, and that's where your viewer gets the experience from. Or I'll say the puzzle solver. That's where the puzzle solver gets the enjoyment, gets that experience from, is figuring out how to put that puzzle together, right? It's the same thing for being a viewer of a movie. When I'm watching a movie, I don't need you to tell me every single thing that this person is thinking, right? You can leave little subtle hints, little subtle mannerisms and facial expressions or whatever else for what's going on inside of this person's mind. But instead of that, this movie keeps on telling us what's going on instead of letting it be shown. And with Cletus, it's like you can see that he identifies a lot with Eddie, and even Eddie kind of understands where Cletus is coming from with his type of temperament and everything else, because essentially he feels like they are both losers, two people that got shunned by the world and everything else. And it was just really underdeveloped. Like, this could have been such I think this could have been had a little bit of deepness to it if they would have really expounded upon that more. But the reason for that, we'll talk about that at I guess towards the end. And it's just a shame, because this thing could have been so much more interesting. I mean, even the parts with Venom and Eddie, I feel like, Venom and Eddie are treated, and they should be, right? It's their movie. They're treated as the stars, right? But it's like with Carnage, like I said, he didn't really have too many talking points, and his motives were never really clear, right? So, I mean, of course, in the comic books, because of Cletus's personality, Carnage got turned into, this evil force that just wants to kill and just wants to destroy everything. Alright, that's cool. But the problem is, they didn't really keep it at that in the movie. They kept on doing this thing where it's like Carnage seemed like, for whatever reason, he hated Venom for I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know why he hated Venom. Like, he just wanted to kill Venom, but they never really make that clear. Like, is it because you abandoned me or something? Like, because I don't know. It was just very unclear, and they needed to do a better job of explaining that. But there were some positives, right? This movie, it has some pretty funny moments, right? Without spoiling too much, there's certain things that Venom goes and does, and just hearing Venom talk and him actually being his own character is genuinely funny. Like, there's some moments that gave me some genuine warm moments, and I really enjoyed the relationship between Eddie and Venom. Just being two, essentially, it's almost like a buddy movie, almost like the relationship between, like, in Bad Boys with what was his name? Marcus and crap, I forgot his name. But the relationship that you have in there, or like in other buddy cop movies and everything like this, like, you can genuinely feel the relationship that Eddie and Venom have when they talk, when they joke around with each other. Oh, I forgot to mention this. The other thing that's weird, right? And this isn't too much of a spoiler, but there's a scene in here where Cletus is trying to figure something out, right? He's trying to find something. So in order to do that, he uses Carnage, right? And Carnage sticks his finger into a laptop and hacks into the mainframe to be able to find out the location of something. And I've never been so confused in my life, because since when? How does that even work? So what, do symbiotes have like an electrical current or some type of link to technology where they could just do that? Like, that didn't make any sense to me. But again, this movie does have some positive points. It was funny. It did make me laugh. The relationship between Venom and Eddie was enjoyable. They, like, you got the sense that they are genuine friends, right? That they are genuine buddies. I kind of would liken it for any of my people that are my age, you know what I'm saying, that knew about Regular Show when it was out. The relationship between Mordecai and Rigby, how, like, one of them is really dumb and, like, stupid and rash and everything else, and the other one's a little bit more level-headed and everything. That was kind of the feeling that they really gave off. And again, I don't know why I didn't do that with Carnage and Cletus, but it is what it is. But the relationship between Eddie and Venom was cool. And there were some pretty good-looking scenes. Like, even the church scene, which was the final battle that they had in here, it looked pretty good. The CGI looked pretty good, and it was pretty clean. So, I mean, all in all, the movie, honestly, without spoiling too much, how should I say this? The movie feels like it honestly didn't want to be a movie. The movie felt like it was just put out to make an announcement official to the public. And I'll just say that. Interpret it how you will. You can look up other YouTube videos, you know, saying what that announcement is and everything else. And that got me really excited. Would I recommend that you see this? If you want to have a good time, if you want to laugh, you know, this is kind of dumb fun, like Fast and Furious 9. Fast and Furious 9 was a crazy behind movie, but it was honestly some good, like, just genuine turn your brain off and have a good time. But all in all, I would probably give this movie a 6 out of 10. I would watch it again just to have a good time, and, you know, just to relax and watch something dumb. But you guys tell me what you thought. If you saw the movie, did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think of the end credit scene? Leave a comment down below. Also, like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.